Hey everybody, this is a video response to Movie Collector 87. He posted a video a while back showing his sports movies, and he said in the video that if anybody wanted to, they could make a video response showing their sports DVDs. So I decided to do that, and I have quite a lot of them, so it's definitely probably going to take a while to get through all these, but I have all these sports movies categorized like by the specific sport that it's about. And since baseball is my favorite, I'm going to go ahead and start out with my sports DVDs. First up is Major League. I showed this in my last update, I believe. It's a movie about the Cleveland Indians, which that's my favorite team. And to be honest with you, this movie was just okay. I mean, I didn't think it was great. It was funny in some parts, but you know, it wasn't the greatest movie ever. But it is a really nice addition though. It has some fake grass on the cover. Okay, next up, this one I also showed in my last update. It is the Indians World Series DVD from 1948, I believe. This World Series, they were playing the Boston Braves. And at the time when I did the update, I hadn't watched this yet, but since then I have watched it. And I have to say, this DVD was actually very disappointing. And the reason it was disappointing is because I bought this thinking that they were going to actually show the full-length World Series games from this year, but instead all I got were highlights, and they were all put into one video, which that really sucked. And I believe in this specific World Series there's about 5 games that were played altogether, and you know, roughly every baseball game is about 2.5 to 3 hours long, or sometimes just 2 hours, but really it just depends. And you know, if they're 3 hours long and there's 5 games, that's like 15 hours of games, and then all that was cut down to just 93 minutes of highlights. So yeah, that was definitely annoying. I really was hoping to see the actual games, but you know, it sucked. But I only paid just a little over, I think, $4 for this, so I'm not too upset. And by the way, I'm not gonna open these up. I just opened up this one just because it's kind of a habit, but yeah, I'm not going to open up all these and show you what's inside of them, just because I don't really think I should spend a whole lot of time doing that since I have so many. But anyway, there's that. Next up is 61. I had this a few updates back. I still haven't watched it, even though I've been really wanting to. It's about the New York Yankees, which is another one of my favorite teams, believe it or not. Can't remember what player it's about, but it's about some player who was famous, who played for the Yankees. I really need to watch this soon. This is one I've been really wanting to watch, but yeah, there's that one. Okay, next up I have The Natural. To be honest with you, I really didn't think this movie was that great. I mean, it was good in parts, but then it just kind of got old about halfway through. Pretty much it's about this guy, I can't remember his name, but he's really good at baseball, and he gets put into this major league team, but then he starts having a bunch of problems because he previously had this injury from being shot by somebody, and it's starting to affect his ability to play baseball. And it was alright. I didn't like it that much, to be honest, but I mean, it's a nice DVD, I'll give it that. Okay, next up I have The Sandlot. I got this out of the $5 bin at Walmart. I had seen it once before at school, like back in 5th grade, but you know, I saw it there in the $5 bin, and I realized that I hadn't seen it in so long, so I wanted to get it and watch it. And I actually really enjoyed it, to be honest with you. It's about this group of kids who are all friends, and they all enjoy playing baseball, so like every day during the summer they go to this field and they play. But then this one kid, they call him Smalls as a nickname. Anyway, he moves in to this neighborhood, and you know, he wants to play baseball with these kids, but you know, pretty much all of them except for the oldest, they all reject him. They don't want him to play, and they make fun of him because he's not very good. But then I can't remember his name, but this kid right here, he's like the baseball star of their town, and what he does is he reaches out to this kid and invites him to come play with him, and he starts getting better. But then what he does is he gets him into this really bad situation because Can't remember how he did it, but somehow he caused the ball to go over the fence into this backyard. And there's like this rumor going around that there's this big beast in that backyard, and that the owner of the house is a really mean guy, and so they tried so many different ways to get this ball, but the dog that's in the backyard that they call a beast, he keeps on preventing them from getting it, and it's just a really cute movie. You should watch it. Okay, next up, I just watched this movie recently, actually. It's Field of Dreams with Kevin Costner. You know, this has just been sitting in my collection for the longest time, and I had never actually watched it, but I did here recently, and I seriously have no idea why I waited so long to watch it, because I thought it was really good. What it's about is about this guy who is married and he has a kid, and they have this farm, and this guy, he had a really bad relationship with his dad, like while he was growing up. So anyway, he has this farm, and anyway, one day while he's working in the farm, he suddenly hears this voice saying that he needs to build a baseball field, which he does. And then he hears the voice again, and then, you know, he keeps on hearing this voice telling him to do a bunch of these different things, and I mean, it sounds kind of dumb, but it's actually really good. I do highly recommend this one. Okay, next up is The Benchwarmers. This movie is really dumb, to be honest. I mean, it's one of those movies where I saw it in the theater and really liked it, but then didn't like it when I bought it on DVD. Pretty much what it's about is, it's about these three guys. They all like baseball, and they get this team together, and they try to play for this championship or something like that, and it's really dumb. I mean, the thing that bothers me about it is that it has way too much toilet humor, and you know, that gets really old very fast, but yeah, I definitely don't recommend this one. Next up is The Rookie. This was in my last update, I believe. Anyway, I can't really remember it. The last time I saw it was when it was in theater several years ago, and from what I can remember, it's about this guy who becomes this really good pitcher, and yeah, I can't really remember it, but from what I can remember, it was pretty good. Okay, next up is Fever Pitch. This one, I did watch it, but I can't really remember it that well. I do remember, though, not liking it very much, but maybe I just have to watch it again, but yeah, there's that one. Okay, I have a couple more here. The next one I have is The Fan. Still haven't seen this one, but I have it. I think I showed it in a couple updates ago, something like that. Okay, and the last one I have here, this one you're actually going to see in my next update at the end of the month, but I got Angels in the Outfield. You know, I was thinking back, like, when I used to watch The Lion King on VHS, and I was thinking about, like, the commercials that would show before the movie, and the commercial to this movie was one of them, and, you know, I was thinking about it, and I realized I had never actually seen this movie, so I started looking around for it, and I eventually bought the DVD, and to be honest, I really did actually enjoy it. Not the best baseball movie ever, but, you know, pretty much what it's about is, it's about this little boy who's an orphan, and he's in this temporary foster home, and he also has his friend who's at the same foster home, and anyway, they're both huge fans of the Anaheim Angels, which is a baseball team, but in this movie, the Angels aren't doing very well, and they're in last place, and then one day this little boy, he prays to God and asks him to help the Angels do better and start winning games, and then they do start winning games, but yeah, it might sound kind of silly, but it was actually pretty good. I enjoyed it. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end it right here. And these are all my baseball movies. And I'll be back with the next part.